Hello, and how are you doing today? Please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be reacting to the latest video by my mother, Rose Odette. My mother has very inspiring uh, podcasts. She has two podcasts, two subjects that she podcasts about, and we're going to be going into an innovation podcast where she interviews someone called Abby McKiernan. And now, what I believe from talking to my mom is that Abby McKiernan does a charity where she donates clothes and things to people that need them for work. So we're going to be reacting to that. Let's click on the link.
Hi, everybody. This is Michigan Innovation Podcast, and we are so excited to have Abby McKiernan with us today, and she is with HelpLink. How you doing, Abby?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me out. It is a beautiful day, truly, today.
It really is. It's such a beautiful day in northern Michigan, and so we are so lucky to have Abby in here.
That's my mom on the left. And a little bit about her is she was a businesswoman. She graduated from Michigan State, and she had a scientific kind of job. Graduation. She was graduated from the School of Engineering with a packaging engineering degree. Like deciding so businesses that needed to put stuff in styrofoam and in the boxes, how do you what's the best type of way to ship things. She got hired by IBM, and they soon found out that she'd be really good at sales, and she was a really good saleswoman. She worked at IBM for several years in Minnesota, in Tucson, and in Grand Rapids, and in Traverse City. I remember when she worked at IBM. But then in 93, she started her 92, 93. She started her 1993. That's in the 90s, last century. Okay. She started her own business. She had at first they sold AS400s. Then her and her business partner decide, whose name was George. They decided to start a software business that would run on the AS400s that they sold to hospitals. And what it was a electronic medical record. And actually, they were the first to market an electronic medical record out of the whole world, or the whole country at least. And that was in the early 90s. I believe uh, uh, it wasn't like it wasn't years ahead of its time. It was just at the cutting edge at the time, and she was very successful at that. Um, and then she went to Florida, and you know what happened there. If you follow my blog, she was framed, and she had to deal with some legal trauma. So she came back, and she wanted to have validation in her life. Something where she could give back to the community and like really appreciate her hometown. So she's all about Michigan. She's all about Cadillac. She's like giving local people a spotlight uh, on her podcast. And this person, Abby McKiernan, I've never heard of her, but my mom told me a little bit about her. Is like if you need steel-toed work boots, she gets you those. But we'll find out. That's my mom on the left, by the way.
Here today. HelpLink, as you may or may not know, is an amazing not-for-profit that's really helping out a lot of people all over the United States. And we're going to get into that today. We're going to go into a deep dive into HelpLink. And we're also going to figure out a little bit about why and how Abby started it and a little bit about Abby. And that's where we always like to start is, so Abby, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up in Traverse City, Michigan.
Yeah, so I actually started out in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, so middle of the state. I moved up to Traverse City alone when I was 15 and kind of started.
Mount Pleasant is a college town. It has Central Michigan University there, so I'm thinking she probably went to college there.
I used to vacation here occasionally. I had a friend that lived near the lake shore, and how do you resist once you know it exists?
Right.
So I ended up in Traverse City. Gosh, so I was 15 and now I'm 35. So it's been 20 years already.
Wow, that's a
Know what I do? Oh, I do something. Oh, okay.
Hi, everybody. This is Michigan in.
So I ended up in Traverse
Okay,
City.
so 50, she was 15, so she didn't go to Michigan, Central Michigan. Okay, I was wrong. This is my first reaction video. Let's so it's almost an hour long. I don't have that long of video, so we're gonna cut to the.
And then that guy didn't
part.
show up. What the heck?
I watched the
Right,
I watched the
right.
rest
Yeah.
of it later.
I had this kind
And
of whole history.
I've had that too. You know, you recruit, finally get the ideal candidate, they're hired, and then where are they?
They don't show up. It's probably
Right.
because they're on the side of the road, stressed out that they can't show up.
Right.
But we have this weird misconception that it's because they're lazy or they don't want to work, and that's why they didn't. In my experience, and again, 30,000 people, 140,000 needs, that is rarely the case. It is rarely that somebody doesn't want to show up because they can't show up.
Wow.
And so every time I'd see these needs come through, I would think, man, if only that company knew.
Right.
If only they knew that $50 is the reason that this person isn't showing up after they've spent $10,000
In recruiting them, right?
What? Like, there's just this funny disconnect because nobody's talking.
Yeah.
And who the heck wants a new job or even as a current employee to walk?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Like these companies spend so much money recruiting, and then the person just needs the equipment to go, like the boots or the dress shirt. Or I ran into that myself when I was vacuum salesman. Actually, I didn't have any nicer clothes. I'd been a punk rocker for 3 or 4 years, and all I had were punk clothes. Like the nicest clothes I had were Doc Marten black Doc Marten like collared button up shirts, and I would wear those. But those were obviously for like a factory job, and I didn't have the clothes to be a vacuum salesman. I didn't do very well. So yeah, I definitely see her point.
Again, too
And
much
he
after
was
help.
because I can.
Oh, it was so much better.
Oh
than that,
my
right?
gosh, what?
His answer was, well, because in 2019, I don't know if you remember, but you gave us baby clothes and food. Like, I had lost my job because of COVID. So it was 2020. I had lost my job because of COVID and everything was shut down.
My mom's always donating stuff. One time she donated my Legos to someone. I was so mad. But she's always like, oh, we can just give this to someone who needs it better. She's so nice. She really is like a saint, which is why it's so weird that she's been to prison,
I couldn't feed my family. He's like, you fed my family?
Oh
for
my
me?"
gosh.
It's like, oh,
Oh, Abby.
like,
Abby, what
what
a
a story.
Oh, what an important
Such
story and what an
essence.
impact.
And so, turning,
Help prevention
right.
and jump out in front of these problems before they even begin. But that's probably another podcast.
A whole other one. Well, it's interesting. I think sometimes companies, and I
Look at her tattoo. I mean, look at that. The colors, the pink and the reds and the greens. I like red and green combinations. It's my favorite color combination, actually, besides orange and black. But, oh my goodness, the tattoo. When I was a kid, I wanted a Jeep and I wanted tattoos, right? Now, at least in my area, Jeeps are what the girls drive and tattoos are what the girls get. Guys still get tattoos, but anymore, if you see a full sleeve like that and it's being shown in the public, it's a girl that's showing it. And I think that's just so funny. It's like I'm not saying I'm embarrassed. I still want a Jeep and I still want more tattoos. So bring it on.
mean, I'm speculating here, but I think it's probably true of all of us on an individual and on a company running level. we don't always realize, right? So when I write a $5,000 check to Women's Resource Center as a business owner, I don't necessarily realize that one of those women they're helping is likely an employee. My brain doesn't do
No,
that.
we don't
math.
connect those dots.
Right.
It's like them, us.
Right. And they're like, oh, I'm helping this charity and this charity is helping people. But at no point do we realize, like, oh, I wonder how many of my employees are in domestic violence situations or need.
Like, now let's criticize this podcast a little bit. What could they do? Like, she needs more things on the wall. She needs, like, road signs. I know she has a sign that says Rose, a road sign, and, you know, statute of limitations. It was stolen in probably the 70s, so she could put that on the wall. She could put other things on the wall, like fun little things, like pictures or clips of people or pictures of places she's been. Pictures of her dog, even. I'm trying to get her an introduction where it plays along with music, where it introduces her every podcast with her beautiful standard poodle Dolly. It's a white standard poodle. But anyways, she needs more stuff on the walls. She needs to describe the video in the title. She needs to ask for likes and subscribes. As you can see, I'm subscribed here. I have 2 YouTube, so this I'm watching right now on my personal YouTube, but I also have a vlog YouTube where I make this. So this is my personal one, and I'll upload this to my private one, I guess. But yeah, maybe I'll just upload this to my. Anyways, we'll see. Maybe I'll upload this to my private one because I really don't want to log. On my phone, I have my vlog, and on my PC and my laptop, I have my. Anyways.
Diapers, right?
Right.
So I think the biggest kind of hurdle we're getting over is explaining to these companies that you're still writing the check, so to speak, although automatically through the app, to these nonprofits that you've always loved and helped. We're just making sure that your employees are benefiting first, because frankly, without your employees, then you don't have a company.
Yeah, I don't know why this is 15 minutes long. Maybe it's just maybe if I would watch the whole thing, I don't have the time, but maybe if I watch the whole thing, it make better sense. But it seems like they're talking about the same thing for 15 minutes. If I were to give a podcast, I'd make different mistakes. I probably wouldn't make the same mistakes, but I'd make mistakes too. So she's got 9 views already, and she just uploaded it, so she's doing pretty good so far, I think.
I know.
I would love that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's really cool.
Isn't that cool?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah,
Or
it's on
something.
YouTube. Yeah, it's
Oh.
on YouTube. Yeah, it's on my channel.
So when we built HelpLink, the goal was to scale it without needing a mega chunk of money like Facebook, who
Mhm.
did so much for us, taught us so much in that 9 months or so.
Right.
So HelpLink is actually nationwide. If there's a need in Detroit that gets posted, and we have a nonprofit in Detroit that can meet it, or Spark in the Dark will pick it
Mhm.
up, because we help. Again, we don't spend a lot of time building criteria around who's in need.
Right.
The database does the way that Dan built HelpLink.
Okay, we're gonna cut to
So-
the last few minutes.
Right.
And I mean, I just can't really say enough good things
Nice.
about their connectors. I'm a connector. We have
Yeah.
that in common, right? I'm
Yeah.
connecting different things, but it's
Mhm.
just really
It's
cool.
interesting. It's a
that
worthwhile
you're very long-
podcast.
You're very long entrepreneur.
It's interesting. It's a worthwhile podcast, but like, I wish we could hear more conversation. More conversation, like just asking a question, like an interview, like a Charlie Rose program. That's not really a podcast. Podcasts are conversations where 2 people with their own personalities meet and interact, and they talk. Like, they talk about the philosophical implications. All right. So, like, when they talk about giving back, what they could talk about is the history of nonprofits, the history of her company. Maybe they do, but they can go more into that. And my mom, the interviewer, doesn't have to just interview like Charlie Rose. She could go into the philosophy of donations and giving is caring, and giving is what people need to do to succeed in life is giving. That's what she always tells me. I haven't heard her say it yet. Maybe she does say it, but she said the secret to living is giving, or secret to success is giving back. That's what she always taught me, and I'm not hearing her say that. I know I didn't do it justice. I didn't watch the whole 50 minutes, but those are my comments. I hope I don't. I'm gonna put this on my private vlog, not on my public vlog, just to see if Mom Rose, just to see how she thinks my reaction is. If she doesn't want me reacting, I don't have to. But that's about it for Abby McKiernan. And she's I like her earrings. I like her sleeve there, and she's got interesting hair. She's an interesting person. She looks like she might be a little punk rock herself. So that's interesting. And this is Brian signing off. All right, thank you.